Hey, That Anxious Artist here. I've been getting more sales lately in my Etsy shop for all my prints, so I thought I would just do an in-depth, I guess, show and tell of how I ship off my prints from the moment I get a sale to when it's shipped off. I'm gonna just show everything. So I have a sale in there right now, so we're just gonna start over at the computer. All right, so we're gonna start at the absolute very beginning, and that is when you go into Etsy and you click orders and shipping, it'll show you the orders that you have not done anything with yet. So here is the order that I'm going to ship off. This came in Friday after I had already gotten off work, and I don't ship out on the weekends, so I'm gonna ship it out tomorrow on Monday. So this person ordered 2 prints. They ordered this one right here, which is 2, and then they ordered this one right here, which is new update. So that's the first thing I do. I go over to my computer, I look at the 2 prints that they ordered, and then I go about printing it. Before I actually print my print out, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you the paper that I use. So I actually print on photo paper, which I know is not like ideal and not something that a lot of people like to print on, but I like the luster on it. I print on a soft gloss HP photo paper, and I just use HP photo paper because my printer is an HP printer, and I think I'm gonna switch to a different one though, so yeah. So the paper that I use is the HP Premium Plus photo paper, and it is 80 pounds. The only thing I don't like about this paper is that it does have the HP logo on the back, which is not ideal and not something that I really wanted, and I am thinking about switching to a different paper. The only reason I was using this one was because I like the sheen on it, and because I used to offer 8.5 by 11 size prints in my shop. I have since stopped doing that because I realized that it's not very logical since I'm printing it myself, and most of my work features like a lot of black. It's just not a good idea to print like this big, and I would basically use up all my ink extremely fast, and it wouldn't be cost effective. So I've decided to only print 5 by 7. So that is the only size I offer in my shop now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this down to size before I print off my prints. Welcome to my floor. So I do want to show like every single step exactly what I do. So I'm just going to show how I print it out. I take 1 sheet. I print 1 print at a time. I do not put more than 1 piece of paper in here. I've had trouble with printers in the past. I'm worried about it. I only print 1 print at a time. So this is the glossy side, and because I have a bottom load printer, I'm going to print it with the back facing upwards. If I had a top load printer, I would print it with the glossy side facing upwards. But since I have a bottom load, I'm just gonna make sure that the back is up. I'm gonna size this to size and then stick this in as far as I can get it in there. And I'm just gonna stick this tray back in. And I'm just lifting it up only because it gets caught on my carpet. So now it's in there, it's all set. I'm gonna go hit print. Now that I have my paper all cut out, I'm just going to go ahead and print out my file. So the first one I'm going to print is this one, and I'm starting with this one because I know it's the one that's going to take up more ink, so I'm just going to use this one first. I actually print directly from my Windows photo gallery, which I know is not ideal, but it's what I do. I kind of don't know what I'm doing half the time, so it's just a little bit of trial and error. Usually this works the first time. If it doesn't work printing from here the first time, I just go ahead and open up Word and print it from Word. One or the other works usually. I don't usually have to do more than 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit print. I'm going to make sure all my settings are where I want them to be. So just let me get that for a second. I am printing at 5 by 7. So I just want to make sure I hit 5 by 7 on this. The rest of this looks all good. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit print now. And that's print number 1. So like I said, I'm going to take 1 sheet of photo paper, put it in face down. Now try not to touch the front too much. And stuck. Okay, there we go. Stick that as far as it can go. Push that in. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and print my second print. What I'm actually doing right now is just going and turning off my black ink only setting. And I only had that on because the other one was only black and white, and I didn't feel like using dump printing for that and using out some of my color ink for no reason. So now I'm turning off the black and white because this one does have grays in it. So I'm just gonna use the dump printing for this one just to make sure it comes out right. That all looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and hit print. All right, and this is what this one looks like, and it looks so good. Okay, now when it comes to actually shipping out the product, I have a couple of items that I use. So I have backer board, sleeves, a mailer, a stamp with my logo on it, a little piece of paper with my logo on it, a business card, do not bend stickers, and thank you stickers. All right, so the first thing that I do is that I write a little thank you note on this piece of paper. I like handwritten notes. I think they're cute. I do them in all of the businesses that I have except for my t-shirt shop because I don't actually do those myself. Printful send those out. So I have a little piece of paper with my logo on the top. I did see someone else do this. I just don't remember who. So I had this little piece of paper. I'm just gonna write a quick thank you note. Now this stamp I actually bought to stamp on my mailers, but because my mailers have like this slippery coating, it doesn't really work on that. So I figured I should use this for something. So I just stamped the back of these and it has my little logo on it. All right, so when it comes to actually packaging up the prints, the rule is every print gets its own backer board, every print gets its own sleeve. So I put the print on top of the backer, and the backer is 5x7 already. I did not cut these, I bought these like this. And then I have these 5x7 sleeves that I'm just gonna slip the entire print into. I'm just gonna rip off this sticky tape thing and fold it over. And then there's print number 1. It's nice and protected and it won't bend. So now I have my 2 prints. And I'm just gonna put them in my mailer. I'm not sure if they'll fit in this smaller mailer. If they don't, I do have 8.5x11 rigid mailers as well because I used to sell 8.5x11 prints. So if someone buys more than one, I do have a place to put both of them. But I'm just gonna see if I can stick them both in here. It's a little snug. I might grab an 8.5x11 mailer instead. All right, so this is my 8.5x11 rigid mailer, and I use rigid mailers just to make sure it doesn't bend. The backers do help, but the rigid mailers also make just to have extra security because some people are determined to put these inside of mail slots. I'm just gonna stick this one in first, and then on the second one that I'm gonna stick in, I'm just gonna stick this note right to the front of this. I'm just gonna tape it right on so that way the customer sees my note. I'm gonna slip it in there. I'm just gonna slip a business card in there. My business cards are double-sided because I have 2 Etsy shops, so I just have both of them on one card. They have similar marketing. They're both like the same color scheme, and so I figure they work together. And if somebody likes something from one shop, maybe they'll like one from another. Slip that in as well. And then I'm just going to close this. And then on the back flap, I just put this thank you sticker on. It's just cute. I just think it looks cute. And then on the front is where I put my do not bend sticker. Stick that right here on the bottom. And now we're gonna go print out the address label. All right, so now that I have both of my prints printed out, I'm just gonna go ahead and print my address label. So we're gonna go to this page and then we're gonna hit get shipping label, and that'll bring up this window. And when you get to this window, this is where you need to put in the length, width, and height of your package and the pounds. And this is gonna determine how much you're gonna pay for that label. So I know that my mailer is an 11 by 9, and then if it's a flat package, the lowest quantity you can put into Etsy is 1 inch. You can't put anything less than that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and hit 1 inch. Now when it comes to ounces, I'm actually gonna go ahead and weigh this. I know that the prints by themselves are 2 ounces each, which is why I have 2 ounces sitting here, which is why it automatically put 4. But I always just like to double check because sometimes the post office will refuse your package if you have the wrong weight on it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and weigh that. All right, so this is a pretty basic scale. I just got it off of Amazon. I want to say it was maybe like $20. And since I use it for both of my businesses and for any time I'm just shipping off a package to a family member or something, it's worth the investment. I'm just gonna cut it on. I'll turn it this way so everything can be seen. And let it zero out. And then we're just gonna stick the package on top. This is actually 6.1 ounces. So once you put your ounces in and you get your total for what you're going to pay for the shipping label. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it for a second. You get your total for what you're going to pay for the shipping label. Then you can go ahead and set the date that you're going to ship it. I'm going to ship mine out on Monday, June 15th. So that's what the label will say. And then I'm just going to go ahead and review my purchases. This all looks good. So I'm going to purchase that label. And then I'm just going to print the shipping label. I don't print packaging slips. I feel like they're a waste of paper. Everybody gets emails of their packaging slip. And if they really want it, they can print it out themselves. But I honestly feel like it's a waste of paper and people just throw them in the garbage anyways. I only print out shipping labels. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and print this label out. I don't think I really need to show the whole process for this one. And once your shipping label is printed out, you can just go ahead and hit done. And you can close this, and then that order is no longer in new, it is now in completed, and it is in pre-transit status because I have not given it to the post office yet. But I do have my tracking number. Obviously if I hit track, it's just going to say pre-transit because it hadn't gone anywhere yet. All right, I just print my shipping label out on regular copy paper. I don't use like sticky paper. I don't use the actual label printers. I just print regular copy paper and then I cut it out and then I just tape it to the front of the package because I don't have money for a label printer. Okay, and then this is the finished product. I have a cute little thank you sticker on the back. I have my do not bend sticker on the front. I have both prints securely in here, so this is what my finished product looks like. Wow, that was a doozy. I realized that was kind of all over the place, but I wanted to literally show what I do step by step by step. That's what I do. I didn't want to put it out of order. That's the exact order that that's the exact steps that I take when I get an order. I bounce around a lot. I go from computer to photo to cutting the paper out to all of that. That's exactly what I do. So I just wanted to give a real timeline of how I ship out my prints. As far as the paper goes, I am thinking about just buying like a low gloss, a lowish sheen 5x7 paper that I don't have to cut. As I said, the only reason I have the bigger sheets is because I did used to sell 8.5x11 prints. I have since stopped doing that because it doesn't make any sense for me. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get some 5x7 ones so I don't have to use my cutter anymore. As far as all the supplies that I use, I'll have all of that listed below. The exact websites that I get them from, on links, whatever you need to get like the stuff that I got. Most of it is from clearbags.com as far as all the shipping supply goes, and like the stickers and whatnot, those are usually just from Amazon. My stamp that is kind of useless now because I don't really use it for much, but you know, maybe you'll have a use for it. I got my stamp from Vistaprint, and then I got my business cards from Avery. And that's basically it. This is actually the third time that I'm trying to do this on 3 separate occasions. One was like a week ago, one was like a month ago, and they all just turned out crazy. Like the first one, I think I didn't have the right information in it. I was like all over the place. The second time I tried to record this, my angle was all off and you couldn't even see what I was doing. So yeah, that was a waste of time. This is the third time. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I don't care if it's all over the place. This is it. If anybody knows any better way to like print things out, because I can't print things exactly from Krita. I wish that I could just hit print from Krita. I can't. So I've just been printing directly from my Windows photo gallery. If anyone knows a better way to print stuff out, let me know because I need some tips and tricks. That's all. Bye.